Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. So, today we're going to get into First Samuel, the first chapter. So this is First Samuel 1 and 1, and it reads, Now there was a certain man of Ramath Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, and the son of Zuph, an Ephraimite. And he had two wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other was Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there. And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife, and to all her sons and her daughters portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah, but the Lord had shut up her womb, so she couldn't get pregnant, she couldn't conceive. And her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Lord had shut up her womb. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her, therefore she wept and did not eat. So you got Peninnah over here, annoying and making fun of Hannah probably every day because they living together. So seeing that Peninnah had children and Hannah didn't, Peninnah is probably making it seem like she's the top shit, and Hannah was nothing because of that. And it got so bad it caused Hannah to cry, and she lost her appetite. She didn't want to eat. Verse 8. Then said Elkanah her husband to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? So why are you crying, and why are you not eating? And why is thy heart grieved? Am I not am not I better to thee than 10 sons? So so you can see Elkanah was trying to cheer her up. So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon his seat by a post of the temple of the Lord. And she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto the Lord, and wept sore, she meaning Hannah. And she vowed a vow, and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thy handmaid a man child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. So she's asking the Lord, if you give me a son, I will give him back to you. And it came to pass, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. So you got Eli over here watching Hannah, and from his eyes, all he can see is Hannah's mouth moving, and no voice or sound coming out. So Eli thought she was drunk, but that wasn't the case. Hannah was just, you know how like sometimes you pray, your mouth is just moving, but you really speak in your head. Yeah, Hannah was just like that. So verse 14. And Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, No, my lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunken neither wine nor strong drink, but I have poured out my soul before thee, but I have poured out my soul before the Lord. Count not thine handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint In grief have I spoken hitherto. Belial means worthlessness, I believe. Um, Worthless, good for nothing, yeah. Let me see. NOT, don't think I am a wicked woman, for I have been praying out of great anguish and sorrow. Yeah, so she's basically telling Eli it's not what he thinks. She was just crying unto the Lord. Verse 17, then Eli answered and said, go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. And she said, let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad, so she cheered up a bit. Verse 19, and they rose up in the morning early, and worshipped before the Lord, and returned, and came to their house to Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. When it says Elkanah knew his wife, meaning they had sex. Verse 20, wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son. So the Lord remembered her. So and and called his name Samuel, saying, because I have asked him of the Lord. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto the Lord the yearly sacrifice and his vow. But Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned, and then I will bring him, that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever. So Hannah was saying that she wants to wean Samuel off the milk, like until he's able to eat actual foods instead of just breast milk, so that when she goes up for the yearly sacrifice, she can just leave him there. Verse 23, and Elkanah husband said unto her, do what seemeth thee good, tarry until thou have weaned him, only the Lord establish his word. So the woman abode and gave her son suck until she weaned him. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her three. Slack, let me start again. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her with 3 bullocks, and 1 ephah of flour, and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of the Lord in Shiloh, and the child was young. And they slew a bullock, and brought the child to Eli. Eli was the priest there. And she said, O my lord, as thy soul liveth, my lord, I am the woman that stood by thee here, praying unto the Lord. For this child I prayed, and the child hath given me my petition which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord. And he worshipped the Lord there. So Hannah was just keeping up part of the vow. And that's the end of 1 Samuel, the first chapter. So basically you have Elkanah and his wives. Peninnah had many children, but Hannah had none. So Hannah ended up crying unto the Lord because she wanted a son. And she made a vow unto the Lord, saying, if the Lord would give her a son, then she would dedicate his life to him, and and Samuel would serve him all his life, and no razor will come upon his head. So the Lord granted her prayer, and yeah, after after she had weaned him, she gave him to the Lord. Yeah. So that's the end of 1 Samuel, the first chapter. Oh Lord willing, this was edifying, and Lord willing, I get into the second chapter soon. All right, shalom.